Hello, everyone. Welcome back. In the previous session, we discussed uh, what are dimensions, and we discussed about what are private dimensions, and we discussed something about public dimensions. Okay. So in this session, we'll discuss something about the types of dimension. So when you see the types of dimensions, we have 5 types of dimensions. In short, I'll give it as dim. So there are 5 types of dimensions. So dimension number 1, that is your date dimension. Dimension number 2, it is your Gaussian dimension. Dimension type, for example, generic. Dimension 4, organization. And dimension type 5 is your account dimension. Whenever you create a planning model, then automatically a date dimension. So whenever you create a planning model, then automatically date dimension and version dimension are created or generated automatically, right? Later, according to your requirement, either you can go for a account-based model or non-account based model. Now coming to date dimension. Okay, start from here. Date dimension will define the start and end dates of your model's time frame, right? So main thing is it will be defining your time frame of start and end date. So from which date to which date your planning is valid. So this is your main property. Second property is your granularity. Whether you're going to plan this at year level or quarter or month, right? Day wise or week wise. So weekly planning is not allowed in accounting model, right? First, let's see what is this defined time frame of your start and end date for a date dimension. Now, let us do some practical for that theory, what we have done. So what you need to do is first go to modeler, click on a model, select start with an MD model, create. The moment the new planning model is created, the date and version dimensions are created automatically. And these two dimensions are private dimensions. Next, in order to go to the date dimension tables, click on this edit dimension table. Come to the right panel. Here we can see the time frame. What is the start period and end period of the planning? So here it is given as 2006 to December 2027. If you want the previous year as 2025, just enter, and the new values will be generated automatically. Now the starting period is 2025 01. Okay. So we have set the time frame for this. And second point, what we discussed is granularity. So what is the granularity of the member storage? Whether it is going to be at calendar month level, or is it going to be at year level, quarter level, or day level? Fine. So let's first try with year. I'll take the granularity as year. And what is the hierarchy for this? Only year is there because that is the topmost node. Now when I click on refresh, only 3 values are stored as a master data or members in your dimension table. And these are all your properties. Okay, once done, go back. Next, we need to define one measure. Just click on add measure. And here I can give it as revenue, or we'll specify this as value. Description as value. Data type, I'll take it as integer. Aggregation type, I'll take it as sum. And we'll try to take one more dimension, that is a generic dimension of type product, which is also a private dimension. It's not a global dimension, right? So once done, now we can click on save. Save under my folder, and the name of this, I'll give it as S0_ yearly_ planning. Click on save. Once done, now let's create one input template within the story. So from actions, go to story. You can either take responsive or canvas page. Let's go for a canvas. Within the canvas, let me drag the table. Within the builder panel, first I'll try to select the measure, that is your value. Then click on add dimension. Within the dimension, I'll try to take this as date dimension. Second step, I want to display some values here, right? Currently, I don't have any data within the model. So in order to generate some values, what I will do is first, I will try to enable unbooked values, because currently there are no booked values. So I want to enter some unbooked values for that. So go to the measures, click on more, and show unbooked data. Secondly, you have to go to your date. From there, show unbooked data. Now you can see that there is a date hierarchy which has been displayed, and this is a topmost node which is generated automatically, And this is all your years what you have. So we have planned for 2025, 26, and 27. This is the unbooked values. Now for this, now say for example, I want to plan unbooked values for the year 2026. So I'll enter here 365. The value will take it as 365 and just click on enter. Once done, see that we have the year and the value is 365. I'll try to copy the URL and go for another session. So that I want to see the values within my model. So let's go to the demo. Let's go to the modeler. And this is the yearly planning model. Open the current model. And if you see the data foundation, it shows that there is no data available, but we are not published the data or saved the data back to our model. So in order to see the unpublished data, switch on this. The planning area is date, value, and version is actual. Fine. Even though we are not taken the version, but in your story, you can see that in your filters, version and measure. So version is also taken into consideration. Okay, version and measure will be by default filters applied over your planning model. Okay. Now, if you try to plan the data for 2025, 365 and 27, 365, right? Now go back. And when you click on refresh, you'll see that only the 3 entries are there within your data foundation. Okay. Now, in order to save this data permanently into your model, what we need to do is we need to publish the data. Once done, go back to this. Now, currently it is unpublished data. Fine. So when I click on refresh, it shows that you don't have any data. Switch to data management one time. Go back to data management. Then after that, again, come back to your model structure. Now, automatically, you will find the entries what we planned. So 2025, the value is 365. Means at the topmost year level, we have planned in annual or yearly planning model. Okay. The granularity makes a very big difference in the number of entries within the model. Cool. Okay. Next, what we'll do is we'll go back. Go to your files, E2Tech project, and select this model, previous model. I'll try to copy it to monthly model, S0, monthly planning. I don't want to include the data, so click on copy. Once done, let's go to the monthly planning one. Currently, there is no data in your data foundation. And we need to just go to the date dimension. So I'm trying to set. So year from 2025 to 27 is okay, but the granularity, I'm trying to change to month. So when you see the default hierarchy, we have year, quarter, and month, half year, quarter, month, half year month, and year end month. Fine. Okay. So we have set this to month granularity. Then click on refresh. The values will be, member IDs will be generated from 2025 Jan to 2027 December. Then now go back, save it. Empty model. Now let's go to your story again. Go to Canvas. I'll take the table again. Within this, I'll take measure as value and the dimension as date. And I want to display the unbooked values for the date. Show unbooked data. So now we are able to see, like previously, we are able to see the years, but under this again, we have your quarters, and under the quarter, we have the month also. Okay. So now we need to, because we want to enter the values inside this one to enable the values inside the measures. What we need to do is we need to go for your show unbooked data for measures also. So once done, let's go to 2026. And now I'll enter the value as 365 and enter. So once it is done, when you drill down to quarter, you have the quarter data here, first quarter, then second quarter. So like this, we have all monthly data saved up. Then let's go back to your data model now. Let's go to the modeler. Go to the monthly planning. Now if you see the unbooked data, now the data is stored at month level. So we entered only for 2026. So the values will be stored at the leaf level, the granularity level. We are given it as month. So the month date at month level, the values will be saved here. But while showing in the data, the month values will be aggregated and display at the node of quarter. After that, it'll try to aggregate the data for all the quarters and display the data for year. So this is only the aggregation, right? That is a roll up of your values, right? So currently the data is not uh, published to the model. It is an unpublished data. So you want to revert back. So then I can go to revert data back. The whole memory data will be deleted. And when we go for refresh now, so there is no data either in the memory nor in the planning model. Okay. Third point is weak granularity. In order to enable the granularity setting at weak level, see you get an option. So you get the message only available when weak settings are enabled in a model preferences. So first we have to go to model preference, date settings, week based date pattern like 445. So this pattern is good for standard retail or manufacturing for quarterly planning. And this will ensure that every quarter has exactly 13 weeks, making your weekly forecast, inventory, revenue planning consistent. And within your 454, So normally this is used by companies which have peak sales in the middle month of the quarter, right? Like holiday promotions. And when you go for 544, where the first month of the quarter is busier, say when you say that when after your December holidays, January is the first month is busy than other months, then we can go for 544 pattern. Instead of 12 months, if you want this 52 weeks to be distributed equally, then it has to come to 13 periods. So instead of 12 periods, 12 months, we'll be having 13 periods with 4 weeks distributed equally, right? So what we'll do is first we'll try to enable 1 month with 4 weeks, 4 weeks and 5 weeks, right? And we'll take this first day of the week. So first day of the week, normally we can set it as Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. But normally some regions like USA, Canada, and Japan, their week starts with Sunday. And countries like Europe, India, and Australia, they there the week starts mostly with Monday. Fine. Or for example, finance and payroll alignment also, when you see that, mostly the companies will be using Monday as a first day. And retails will be using Sunday or Saturday. Fine. I will take Monday as the start day of the week and click on OK. Then after that, once you set this one, then we need to set here also, that is your granularity period. Now week will be enabled and we can set it to week here. All right. And in the dimension, we can go for year, quarter, period, and week. Or directly you can go for year, period, and week, whichever hierarchy you want to get it displayed. Fine. So let's go to save. The date values are not yet saved. So once done, if you want to check. So this is your week, right? Now the member ID is your week. Now come back, go to your story, and we'll try to create one input template for this. Drag and drop your table. I'll remove that data and go to the builder. And in the measure, let's take value. Then in the dimension, I'll take this as date. And in the date, I'll try to set this as show unbooked data. Or one more thing, what we can do is we'll take for 1 year only instead of taking multiple years. Let's concentrate on only 1 year. So let me go to the modeler. I'll go to the model back. And in the date dimension, I'll try to set the values to 2026 and 2026. Refresh. So I want to just have some less number of entries in the model. So let's go back, and where is my table? Okay, let's go to the table. So within the table, I'll take here, the value is this, then the dimension, as the date dimension. And let's make this as show unbooked data. So when you go to all, it should show only 1 year, that is 2026, right? And in order to make some entries in your measures, now I am not able to enter the values here. So what I have to do is go to your measures and try to set this as show unbooked data. Then double click on this and go for 365 days. So I want to distribute for each day one value, all right? So let's go back to your 2026. Here it is showing this as month as Jan and week 1. So we have given it as 445, right? So first month will be 4 weeks. Then after that, your second month will be 4 weeks. Then after that, your third month will be 5 weeks, right? So 7 4 is 28, 7 4 is 28, and 7 5 is 35. So 4 4 5. And again, 4 4 5, 4 4 5, right? 4 4 5. Cool. So 1 day will be added to your last week here. Okay. So this is your, I'll take a snapshot of this for 4 4 5. Cool. Now what I'll do is I'll repeat the data back. We'll go to the model settings again. Go to date settings and we'll try to set this to 454. Save it. Then you need to refresh here, refresh the data in order to make the changes to happen. And now if you see here, let me add value as 365. If you see the values, 28 and 7 4s are 28. Here is 7 5s are 35 and 7 4s are 28. It is 4 5 4 pattern. Got it? Now this is 4 5 4 pattern. So you want to keep it side by side. Your 365 days. So 28, 28, and here 35 and this. Okay, next we'll go for 544. We think that your January month should have more number of weeks in that, right? Now, but this time I don't want to, okay, let's keep. So instead of months, now I want to show this as a period number. Instead of months, I want to show this as period number. Now save it. So pattern settings can be changed when only there is no data book there. So I mean to say, okay, I'll try to refresh again. It seems data is there, right? So if data is there, we cannot change the settings. So I'll go to revert the data back. Then go to your settings and go to your date settings. Still, we are not able to change. So let me save it and see, is there any unpublished data? No, nothing is there. So then I should be able to change, go to date settings, and shall I go back to my data management and come back to the model structure, go back to the date settings. Now I should be able to change it. Only the memory should be getting clear. Okay, once done, let's go for 544 model and click on OK. Now instead of month, I'll try to take this as period number and should show us period 1, period 2, period 3. Now save it. Now let's refresh the whole data. Now we can see this is as period. Instead of month name, it is showing us period 1, period 2, P3, P4. So like this, there'll be some 12 periods, right? Each month is equal to 1 period. Now, I'll enter the data as 365. First period will be 35 days, then 28 days, and period 3 will be 28. So 5, 3, sorry, 5, 4, 4. Okay. Again 5, 4, 4, 5, 4, 4. Okay. So that is, and 5. Now here 27 days, and here it is 30 days. So that is just like this. Okay. This is for your 544 model. Cool. So I'll try to make this one also here. So we need to understand this with example. You'll understand what is the funda of this. Okay. Next, I need to revert the data back. Once done, let's go back to your model preferences, date settings, and try to change this to 13 by 4. Mean to say, when you want to distribute your weeks equally, so instead of 12 months, so we'll try to make into 13 months, and 13 into 4 is your 52 weeks, right? So equally distributed, and click on OK. Now save it. So 53 week, normally after 5 to 6 years, it will automatically keep generating them. So once done, now let's go back and refresh. So let me go for the first year as 365. It is 28, 28, 28, right? So it's good. So we are able to see how many periods should be there. Total 13 periods. Okay. So normally month will show as 13 periods here. And each week, each month has 28 days in each one. Okay. But it'll be totally if you go for the last week, last period. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So totally you have how many periods now? 13 periods. Okay. Say when you have the data for 13 periods and within your date settings. So if it is 13, you cannot use month now, right? So month will be only for 12, but here we have taken as 13. Then we need to use your period number or period number with prefix only. Okay. It doesn't make sense to keep month there. Now let's go to a date dimension, edit dimension table. We find an option here called default booking behavior. So it is set to distribute values, and one more value what we find is book to unassigned value. When you select distribute values, and if you try to plan some annual values for at the year level, the year value will be automatically distributed to your members. So for that, what we'll do is let's see one example. So currently the default value, what we have set for the booking behavior is distribute values. Then let's go to the, so we have 2 years, 2026 and 27. And under this, we have quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I try to make some booking values, so let me show unbooked data, and now I try to book the data as 365 and enter. Now what is happening? This value, which is planned at the year level, is getting distributed. Okay, right? Like your, now what happens when I try to set it to book to unassigned value? So the moment I try to set to unassigned value, then there'll be one more entry which will be created here as calendar month as 000, and it is month as hash, and the day as 0. So for all this, it is 1. It is always booked for the day, but here it is 0. Okay. Now, if I try to set this to, now can just have a watch here. So there is a first entry here with hash. And if I try to set this to distribute values, then that particular unassigned value will not be there. You have to distribute to either of the member, or it is still not a plan for quarterly distribution, but there is a figure for you to distribute it. Then what we can do is we can plan it and assign it to your unassigned value. So for that, what we'll do is we'll try to go for book to unassigned. So there is one more extra entry made. Now go back and save your model structure. Now when you go back to your story and data refresh, now we'll see that there is an hash also which will be appearing, one more value along with your booked values are this one, right? So I'll try to revert the data. I don't want the data now. Cool. Now, for example, instead of assigning the values to either to, so for example, the budget has come for me, but for each year for 2026, but I got some planned values. So let's say that I have got some planning values that is to be distributed for both the years or a particular year, right? So I want to first distribute some values to 2026. But for the time being, I don't want to distribute exactly to the years there. Exactly. Say, for example, I got some planning values to be distributed, but quarterly how it has to distribute it is still not yet confirmed, right? So then what I'll do is I'll try to assign this value to unassigned value. Say, for example, this is my 365. And when I try to assign to this one, it is an unassigned value here. So let's go to your values here, refresh, and go to your unassigned value. We can see that the value is being assigned to unassigned value. 365 rupees is being assigned to this particular entry here. So the values are not distributed automatically, right? So now what I can do is, say for example, now if you want to distribute to 2026, these values to 2026, then I'll right click, go to distribute value, then select add a target. So I want to distribute to this 4 quarters. Okay, so let me distribute to 4 quarters. And this one has to be equally distributed. Or I want to put some input values. So 91, 91, 91, and 92. Cool. Then when I click on apply, later, once I got a proper plan of distribution for each quarter, then I can just do the later distribution here. Okay, guys. So that is the funda of your date dimension. Okay. So next session we'll go for account dimension and other dimensions. Right? Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.